You're listening to the Permaglitched Gaming Podcast, Season 2, Episode 28. If you hear something you'd like to see from this podcast, be sure to visit our Twitch at twitch.tv/permaglitchedgaming. Good afternoon, everybody. I am dying.
This is so much low energy coming from all of us today. We're usually all hyped up when we start this.
Yeah,
I'm pretty fine.
whew. I am exhausted. I just have not been sleeping well the past couple nights. That's my
And
only
the other
issue.
people, first of all, fuck you to your cousin.
Wait, what did he do?
It's like Jake and the other people.
And
Trying to call us
oh my fucking god!
To be fair, he may not actually remember your names. I think he's met Joe once, and he definitely has not met you.
Yeah, he's met me.
We talk in the fucking Discord all the time.
But he knows you as the Duke. He knows you.
You can say
as so
that. I'm
many
perfectly
saves
fine.
that we do all the time on Discord.
I'm pretty fine with that. He doesn't have to actually know my name.
So we could call him Cheese and Doof.
I'm fine with this.
He'd be fine with that.
Cheese in the doof.
One's an inanimate
There you go,
object. One's another evil scientist.
He says your guys' name changed too much, so he can't keep track of you.
Yeah, when he's on like once a month.
Both of our names start with J, and we're Joes. But
He's talking
so, yeah.
Discord, Joe.
Yeah, I know.
He's only on like
All
once
right.
a month, so maybe
All right.
once a month and a half.
No, he's on pretty regularly.
Debatable.
Whatever. All right, so we've actually got a lot to talk about today. We had the Xbox showcase at the crack of fucking dawn this morning.
It was at 12 o'clock. What do you
no,
mean? It was at noon.
No, it wasn't at the crack
Yeah,
of dawn
it
for
was
us.
you,
It
Joe.
was like it was in the
I was perfectly
it was
impressed.
new for us.
Me and Joe watched it perfectly fine. We enjoyed our sandwiches and some drinks. We talked about nacho cheese chips or something that Joe ate.
It was queso chips, by the way, and those things are bomb.
Did you send a picture of the bag so maybe I can go find them and enjoy this deliciousness too? No.
Do you want me to grab those right now to show you?
No, because we're in the middle of something, and knowing you have to disconnect everything just to reconnect it like 8 hours later and be like, my camera's not working. I don't know what's going on. Blah, 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 blah. I'm frustrated. Joe bad. Joe angry. Joe smash.
Joe has a hard life, okay?
Don't. You were not talking for 5 hours. Maybe deal with a Karen or two. I worked 4 11-hour days straight. My foot was literally felt like it was. I broke something.
Oh, you're poor boy.
And I fucking work at the crack of dawn, so I don't want to hear it. You're still in your bed, like, should I rub this out or no? I don't know. I'm at the fucking crack of dawn, so I don't want to hear anything right now. Ah! Now you
You good? You good?
Wow. So much tension in the room.
So, Gooch, to answer your question, yes, Doof's mic clips, and it always does, and he refuses to acknowledge that he has a problem because he blames it on us.
Because I don't. My mic is fine.
Yes, you do. We hear this all
hush
the
your-
time.
hush your mouth. You wouldn't have a mic if it wasn't because of us. Nor a computer.
What are you
nor
talking
a
about? I
camera.
got this for like $50 at my store.
The mic?
The mic.
To be fair, the only thing we bought
Yeah.
him was the camera.
Yeah, it was only the camera, the Logitech
No,
camera.
not physically brought him, but I had to fucking go him into actually, opening up the fucking millionaire's bank account that he has.
Oh, millionaire bank account bullshit.
You have
Keep
more
on
than
throwing this out here.
Yeah,
Next,
more than-
because of this event, you just want me to give you fuckers Xboxes. You get an Xbox, and you get an Xbox. Everybody gets an Xbox.
You heard it here first. Joseph is buying us PS5s and
That is
Xboxes
not
this year.
happening.
Everybody heard you.
To buy me a new
No.
graphics card?
Everybody
You're,
heard you.
you're buying that. All of you are buying that.
Everybody heard you.
Yeah, I
Oh, sorry,
definitely
Lost
heard new
President.
new Xbox.
He's only around about
Definitely
once every
heard
other month, so.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, goodness gracious. So, anyway, the Xbox Showcase was this morning / afternoon, depending on where you were in the world. For me, it was at 9:30 in the morning, or
No, was
10
it?
o'clock, and it was 10 o'clock in the morning. But I tuned in at 9 o'clock for the pre-show, which I then slept through.
I
Sorry,
didn't watch the
Jeff.
pre-show because I didn't care enough.
I don't think I saw anything that. I mean, there was supposed to be some more world premieres, but I didn't. I mean, I don't remember anything. So how am I supposed to know? So
I just waited till 12. Every time we try to watch the pre-show, they always do a bunch of talking about whatever.
Yeah.
It's like we don't care about this.
We just did not really care about the talking. We just want to see the games. Which, yeah, that's what we got today.
yeah, we got a lot of really good actual gameplay footage, and a lot of really cool announcements, I would say.
Yeah.
With Halo Infinite obviously leading the charge on this, we got 8 minutes worth of gameplay footage from the campaign. And there's a lot to break down there, I would say. In terms of new mechanics and just how it's breaking away a lot from the other Halo games, I think.
In terms of having like one new mechanic being the grappling hook so far, and also having an open world sort of setting where there's like some objectives that you can go to. Yeah, I could say that that's changed quite a bit from this showing for Halo.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know how much more that's going to change, if that's going to actually make a big difference at all, but it's something that breaks every good bit of the Halo experience from back then to now.
I
mean, you still have your shooting bang bangs and all that sort of thing facing off against the
shooty bang.
Yeah, but it's like
I thought the grappling hook specifically was a really cool touch in terms of navigating around the map, but we also saw it used as a combat mechanic as well. Kind of a I mean, Latin would relate to a Mortal Kombat almost situation with, I believe that's Scorpion.
Yes.
Well, that's more
get over here.
Well, that's more lines of like the grappling hook heading towards enemies to do a melee attack, not in.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, but same basic idea. You're using a mechanic to close the distance between you and your enemies.
Yeah.
So, that is going to add a lot of versatility to the game. The open world, like you said, is new and breaks away from traditional linear Halo games. And this was only 8 minutes.
Yeah.
How much of this is everything going to be taking place on the ring? Or are we going other places?
That's also a good question, because if they do it around the whole entire Halo ring, that's fine. I mean, it's a big ass ring where there's like tons of locale to like go around from. If they could like do that, like in some kind of. And Jose was like talking to me about this, like what if it was like more lines of some sort of Breath of the Wild sort of exploration, which I don't think it's going to happen, but if it does, that's pretty cool.
Okay, so expand on that for me then, Jose. Breath of the Wild.
Like fully open world, like you can go anywhere. There's no leveling. Like you have to be this section's level 1 to 5, then the next section is 5 to 10, and so on and whatever. From where Halo games are linear, like, okay, we're on this stage, we got this mission, here are our objectives, blah 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 blah. Story cutscene, then we go on to somewhere else in the same thing or another planet or ship or whatever. I mean, from the way it looks, it kind of looks like everything's from the little tidbit of the story we got, because it looks like whatever fleet they were with were deceased and he ended up on this ring, and it looks like it could be like an open world thing, you'll have your main objectives. Maybe there's some side missions. Maybe they might do it a little RPG-esque elements, with side quests and things like that. It just by looking at it from what we saw, we won't really know until it drops how the gameplay is going to truly be, but from the 8 minutes or so that we saw, it was pretty awesome. So I would like the open world thing, to be honest, myself, because I think it would change it up from the whole linear, here's a mission, go do your objectives, blah 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 thing, whatever.
Yeah,
especially when the last campaign for like Halo 5 Guardians wasn't really that good. A lot of fans did not like that campaign.
Mhm.
at all.
Halo 5. I didn't even finish it. I only ended up playing multiplayer.
I need to finish playing through the Halo series because I haven't finished them yet. Well, I don't think we ever finished 2 because we were still trying to do the legendary playthrough. But it's interesting that you mentioned the RPG element, Latin, because leading up to the actual gameplay was this whole bit about them building Master Chief's suit, right? And then it said, I think at one point it flashed the word "become" across the screen as you like zeroed into the helmet, which seems very RPG-esque to me. Become Master Chief. You're in control of him.
It does sound like it's alluding to the idea of like customizing your own Halo suit for like whatever upgrades and like what style you want Master Chief to have, maybe.
Yeah, that was
maybe that grappling hook is an add-on to something.
That's possible.
Well, I mean, he had that going right out the gate, so
yeah, but we don't know. See, we don't that part of what we saw. We don't know what part of the game that is. We don't know.
We don't know if they
it's middle, and it's something, whatever. So we don't know where that part took place. That was just gameplay footage showing off all the new elements and different things like that. So that could be somewhere in the middle of the game or just a little bit after. You just don't know where it takes place.
Yeah.
What do you guys expect from the multiplayer?
More Halo awesomeness. I think you'll probably go back to not basics, but like if you ever, well, you guys didn't play it, but I know I used to play a ton of Halo 2 multiplayer because pretty much was the best one. It was really well balanced, and then once you started getting to the other ones, we had all these other powers and stuff. It kind of got a little bit like too much, I would say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like adding all these powers, like the jump, the jump suit, the flights, different things like that.
Oh yeah.
Like I did like the like what Call of Duty has now, the the kills, the cinematic kills or whatever. They had something like
kill
that.
animations that started on
3, I think it started
Halo
on.
Reach.
Reach or 3. One of the two. I forget which ones, but
I think
they were cool. I like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Something, it's just Halo. All the Halo's multiplayer has always been good, no matter what. To be honest.
Okay, but you're just expecting the generic Halo multiplayer. You're not expecting anything crazy.
Well, no, they're gonna have
if they're gonna add in new stuff, then they'll
new
let us
abilities
know at
and
some
stuff.
point.
But
how about Battle Royale?
Fuck that shit. The only BR that we need is the regular battle rifle from the game series. That's a tweet.
Halo is not gonna. I mean, if they do,
somebody from 343 saying that.
If they do, that's a really big cave in, but I don't see them doing a battle royale because Halo's already multiplayer is already big on its own. They don't need a battle royale mode in there because it's nobody needs that. It's let it die, or let it just be stuck to Fortnite and PUBG and Call of Duty, whatever.
So I agree. I don't think Halo needs a battle royale. I bring this up because as I was scrolling through Twitter today, there was a tweet from Nadeshot, who's part of a 100 Thieves esports team. I'm going to drag it over here onto the screen and cover up Craig for a second. Maybe. There we go. He tweeted out, he said, Halo purists don't want Battle Royale to be integrated into the franchise. Do you really believe that Halo Infinite will succeed without capturing this massive wave of new generation players that have now only grown up with Battle Royale titles? Call of Duty is the perfect example. So basically what he's arguing is that if there's not a Battle Royale mode, newer generations of gamers aren't going to buy the game.
I don't believe that's true.
I don't believe that either. I mean,
I don't know.
Because
if a game is fun, if it's Battle Royale or not, I think people will go to it no matter what. It doesn't have to be a Battle Royale or any kind of mode that people would like or dislike. If people like a game and it's fun, people will go to that game no matter what.
I 100% agree with that. And we only have to look back to Xbox 360 days with Call of Duty lobbies and stuff like that, where squeakers originated from. These 12 to 14-year-old kids.
Halo, but it's
Well, okay, well, Halo. Regardless, okay, so I just pulled Call of Duty out of my ass because it was right there on the screen.
Yeah.
Halo, Call of Duty, any of those multiplayer games, you had those, 10 to 14-year-old kids who were playing these games because it was a AAA title. It was popular, not just among their own age group, but among everyone in the community. And when I say community, I mean Xbox ecosystem specifically, but now it's also going to be involving the PC ecosystem since it's been ported out to PC.
Yeah. But will PC servers be separate? That's the thing, or will they be all one? Because
that's going to be something that Microsoft will handle.
Players complained when they're integrated with PC players, and PC players whoop their ass because they have the more aim accuracy of a mouse and keyboard to a controller, which has built-in aim assist.
Yeah. I don't expect that something like this would have crossplay.
All right, you guys
between PC and
back. You're gonna do something quick.
He's got to go pee again.
Drinking too much water.
So what I'm getting at is I don't think this needs a Battle Royale mode just because of how well known the
Halo series,
the IP is. Yeah, everybody knows what Halo is.
Yeah.
Do I think that 343 is going to do it anyway? Maybe.
It wouldn't surprise me if they did.
The thing we can't argue against, unfortunately, is that Battle Royale games are popular. Unfortunately, it gets when it comes down to player base and daily users, right?
Yeah.
When your player base for a game has diminished to X amount and your daily users have diminished to X amount, you have to make the call whether it's worth keeping your online servers alive or not. Which is why we hear about a lot of older games who are announcing, oh, our servers are going to close after whatever amount of time. Halo 2 went through that as the new titles came in. So what I'm getting at here is Battle Royales keep games relevant, I guess, to a point by boosting those daily users and concurrent players. But again, I don't think 343 needs it. But they might do it anyway, just because Battle Royale is the popular game mode. I would say of the decade, probably. Something else might come down. It's no different. It's no different than Horde mode, 5-10 years ago, with Gears of War, Left 4 Dead, titles like that. Though that was the popular game mode. That was what everyone was playing. So all the games had it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead didn't have a Horde mode.
No, I never played it, so I just assumed it did.
I
retract that statement.
I think Gears was the only one that really had it.
Yeah, I think it was the only one that
other game. I don't remember any other game. Maybe Call of Duty, I guess.
Zombies.
Yeah, it was zombies. That's basically Horde mode.
Yeah, that'd be the closest thing. But I know Left 4 Dead was just a straight game. Technically, Left 4 Dead, those were you were playing in movies technically.
Yeah, and those games had
the thing you were actually technically in the movie, which was actually pretty cool.
And technically, I would say, in a sense, it kind of is like a Horde mode for Left 4 Dead's case, just because, and a very specific special case too. It's just the AI was very smart in those games. They would just randomly throw different types of zombies at you, whatever the situation calls for it, just to throw players off guard.
To a degree, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Speaking of zombies, that little trailer for State of Decay 3.
Do we need that though?
Yes, shut up. Shut up. I love State of Decay.
Did you really do that well that we need a State of Decay 3?
Yes, because I love
probably
State of
did.
I don't think it did that well. It went to Game Pass really quick.
It was supposed to go to Game Pass. That was their whole thing.
I don't know.
Whatever. You go back to playing your Ark. I'll go play State of Decay 3.
Okay, so what are you expecting out of State of Decay 3? Because the trailer was basically just a teaser. There wasn't a whole lot there.
I'm pretty sure they'll expand. They'll make the world bigger. They'll be able to do things they weren't able to do on the Xbox One and the 360.
Like what?
I don't know. Can't think of anything off the top of my head. Leave me alone. I love State of Decay. It's a fun game. It's a fun multiplayer game too.
I'm just asking questions.
Go play with your fucking dinosaurs and build unrealistic guns, okay? I'll stick with my survival horror zombie game.
I'm just asking questions. Why you gotta attack Ark?
Because Ark is a trash game.
I'm just asking.
I get to attack it. I will take my chance.
Didn't attack State of Decay. I just asked if it did well enough.
You didn't attack. You looked at it all. You're like,
You want me to look up how well State of
That's my reaction. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh my god!" And I interrupted Brittany in the middle of a story over it, and she got mad at me. But
That's your fault. I can't control that, but that's your fault.
I just didn't think State of Decay was popular enough.
It is.
That it was.
Fun. I mean, it's a fun game, and especially since it was cross-play, you know. I mean, you know what? That's funny. It's a game. You talk about permadeath. That's one of the games where you kill your character. That's a permadeath game. So it's like you have to choose your characters and stuff wisely. And I like the whole like the base building and stuff. So if they can improve on that and different things and aspects, and I think they make the world bigger. And they'll probably be able to put more zombies and bigger horde of zombies and things like that. I just like the game. It's a fun game to play.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I will re-download it on my computer. Okay? And you and I can go through it and you can show me that I'm wrong. I want you to prove me wrong. Because I enjoy sandbox games. Hence why I play Ark. Okay? I enjoy games like that. But I couldn't
get me to play Ark. I'm just saying.
I'm not pushing you to play Ark. I'm just saying I couldn't get past a certain point in State of Decay because I wasn't finding myself enjoying it. So if you can show me that, you know, this is one of those games where you've just got to get past the first 3 hours, the first 5 hours, the first 6 hours, and then it opens up, I'm totally down with that. But I mean, and I think Joe, you and I played it together at one point, maybe. There
was like 3 points when we tried doing this.
I think I remember who the other person was that we played it with, and that might have been the other issue.
That was, yeah. Last time I checked, it was.
I think I remember who it is, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't remember exactly who it was either, but basically it was just like for us, it was just because there was like some technical issues at the launch of the game, and it just wasn't opening up for us when we tried to, you know, progress into the game. So we just like clocked out of it early then and there.
Yeah.
However, what I heard of the community that likes it, it's gotten better with updates, and people like it for what it is. I don't know how much better it is, or
because it's like if you think about it, it's like mentally try to put yourself in that situation. It's a scary situation, you know. Not so much, you know, zombies aren't real, whatever. But let's say for shits and giggles, they were, and different things like that. Now it's like your survival mode in your head from what you learn in life has to kick in to try to survive against, you know, these creatures, and then also against people, because it's like who can you trust, who can you build relationships in game with, and different things like that. Now, if they can build upon that and make it like a better system and stuff, it's like it has so much potential, you know, and it just seems to honestly kind of keep getting better and better. I think with the power that the 1X Series X, whatever the hell they want to call themselves, why don't they just call themselves the 1X2? I don't know. There's a lot of potential to improve upon that, you know, and different zombies and different things like that. Maybe they'll put like a Fortnite-esque mechanic where you actually have to build, you know, your house, your community, whatever, you know, gather like actual materials. Well, you still kind of do, but like actual materials now, different things like that. Like I wish I could talk to the developers and give them some ideas. I don't even care. Like there's just a lot of potential for growth and how they can grow that game. And it looks now, especially with that trailer, it looks like they're going away from the cartoony aspect, I guess, if you want to say, and more towards the serious character design looking. So we'll see. I'm excited.
There's zombie animals, so that's one thing to expect.
Yeah, that one was interesting to me. That is going to add a whole new threat level
Yeah.
to the game. Because now you're not just contesting with zombies. Any animal you run into.
Zombie chickens.
I mean, that was a
Zombie
zombie
cows.
theater. That was crazy because it was the wolf that
Zombie
was dead.
snails.
Zombie.
Yeah.
Zombie snails. Oh my God. Look out! It's coming at you.
Anything's
At 1
gonna
mile
kill
an
you
hour.
now at this point.
It's crawling at you at 1 mile an hour. I start screaming like, I can't escape.
I can't do
it's like
anything.
It's like, can't. I'm frozen with fear. Snails down there. There was a movie that was something like that. I can't remember. The guy was screaming, but like, oh, was it Deadpool? No. Yeah, it was Deadpool. When he was driving the Zamboni, he's like, I'm gonna kill you, but in like 5 minutes when I get down there.
Oh yes.
When he was trying to kill the one guy on the ice.
Yes.
And the guy like just wouldn't move. Like but I'm excited. Some of the
So somebody already memed the enemies from Halo, the new Halo game, and
Oh my God! I saw one tweet for one of the guys that I follow had like a showing of like one of the brutes, and it was just like Halo, Harambe's Revenge.
oh my
like,
God, what the hell is that thing?
they photoshopped Shrek ears onto him, and the
What are you doing on my ring?
the caption is "What are you doing on my ring?"
Yes.
Thank you, Twitter, for that one. That was a tweet from, and it's gone now. God, that was funny. Just thought I wanted to share that one. So, all right, I've got like Twitter. Like, you followed the Xbox Showcase tag right now, and it's a fucking disaster, full of all the PS complaints. PlayStation.
Oh God, no!
I gotta find the one Joe and I were cracking up on because it was on one of my Facebook feeds that I follow.
Oh boy!
It was just the dumbest comment, and I'm just like, "That's what they." Oh yeah, the comment was they were replying to somebody else. The guy was like, bad." Like there were some games, and then the comment was, "Why would you show all your games in the beginning and not show the release date or some?" Oh, it's like, why would you show all the games and not have a release date yet or something stupid? And I was just like, oh.
A lot of games are like that, though. Some of them do have a release date, some of them don't. They're still in development.
I mean, I agree. Fable got no release date, but we hadn't heard about it. A lot of these titles were. I think the tweet from Xbox was there was 10 world premieres, 22 console exclusives, and some other goofy number. I can't remember what it was.
You know, the funny thing, most of PlayStations didn't have a release date either.
No, none of them did.
Consoles, like any games that were
because
like,
they're just, most likely a lot of them aren't until next year, with the exception of Halo, because Halo was already promised for holiday release this year, which means it's a console launch game.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, do you think that Halo is going to launch to? Is it going to be available on PC the same day as well, or is it going to take a little
PC,
while?
honestly, the PC I wasn't expecting for them to be on PC like that, so
I'm thinking it's going to show up a little bit later, and they're going to focus on the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X release for it, because
I agree,
and I may be jumping the gun off a little bit of this, but it's the Halo collection was first planned for being on the Xbox One until the community was like, hey, we want that shit on PC, and they listened. And they kept on developing all the games to work on there at certain points during this entire time. So it's probably going to be the same process of just trying to have that all fixed in for PC players, even though they've have enough experience to port it over. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it might release on the same day as Xbox One and Xbox Series X release with that. Who knows?
Yeah. So here is one thing that is cropping up a lot on the Twitter timeline. It's a side-by-side comparison of graphics from
PS5 and Xbox.
PS5 and Xbox, but specifically, what's that game that just came out? Ellie and Joel. Please, somebody jog my memory here.
Last of Us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Last of Us.
It's Last of Us 2 comparing the Halo Infinite gameplay. And I don't know if it's necessarily PS5. It's probably PS4. But it's the human features specifically on PS4 are much better than they are in the Xbox Series X gameplay with Halo 5. And that's what a lot of people are going on about, is that for an FPS game with such a long history, it doesn't look great. Now, I think compared to even just the other Halo games, which have all been remastered, okay, Halo 1, 2, 3, those have all been remastered and they look great now. Is there an aesthetic that Halo's maybe going for here that maybe doesn't need super realistic human features like what Last of Us has?
You don't really need to focus on that if that's not really what a game
It doesn't,
developer is
'cause
really
it's not that
focused
type
on
of-
at all.
That's like comparing an orange to an apple. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's aliens, bro.
It's aliens, bro.
And it's not a story. They're two different type of story. Where one is a story driven narrative, the other one is combat driven with story narrative in it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
That's a really good point. You would want, in a story driven narrative, you would want a lot more. You would want the ability for characters to share more expression through their face.
Exactly. They want to wow us. Let fucking Master Chief take off his helmet and see what he really looks like. Like, no, that's not going to happen because it's just not that type of. It's just. I hate. I love the gaming community, but I also hate them a lot because of this dumb comparisons that they do. And
Or pretty much when
like,
fanboys
shut
in
up.
any.
It is fanboy. It really is just straight fanboys.
That's what I'm trying to say.
They're seeing whose e-penises are smaller and whatever. And it's just like, shut up, enjoy it for what it is. If you favor one console, fine. You favor one console, If one person favors something, fine. If somebody favors all of them, like I like every system,
Yeah.
Here's my thing. Okay. So we got 10 world premieres, 22 console exclusives, right? Out of this. Every single one of those 22 titles are going to be available on Game Pass at launch. That's those are 22 $60 games.
Plus tax. Well, we'll say 64 plus tax.
Call it 64 plus tax?
Yeah,
No,
like
60 plus tax. 64.90, whatever.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
$64.
okay, so you're gonna pay
Just about 65.
fucking calculator. God damn it!
Just about 60.
The tax that I know of for video games, it's like
But that's-
$64.19.
Yeah.
So
think that's
do
what it
60. Let's call it $64 flat for math's sake. I want to multiply that by 22 games, right? That is $1,408 if you were to go out and buy each of those games and put them into your library from the store or physical copy, something like that, right?
Now do $14.99 for 12 months because that's what Game Pass went up to. The ultimate now, basically.
So $14.99 times 12 months. Now that includes Game Pass Ultimate, which gets you access to Game Pass on Xbox and PC. that includes your Xbox Live Gold membership so that you can play online and access all the other features like free games. And that's going to cost you $179.88 a year. So,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, okay, maybe they're not the most amazing games in the world, but I'll tell you fucking what, we're getting a goddamn good deal.
Yeah, that was one of
those titles.
One of the things I saw. They were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, but every game is going to let the Game Pass." Like, so what?
Who cares?
Technically, you have it on day one, the day it comes out. That means
we
I
can
don't have
play.
to go to the store, spend $64, or order it or buy it digitally, whatever. I don't have to go spend that money. I can take that to use for something else.
Exactly. Meanwhile, I mean, and again, I'm not bashing, okay, because this is not a console war. I'm done with console wars. But if you're saying I'm not going to use Xbox anymore because PS5 has better exclusives, fine, go do that. But you're paying $60 for each of those games that you want, while Xbox has theirs for free, over $1,400 worth of games
Through a subscription.
I mean, I'm willing to compromise in some areas if I'm getting my games at a very reasonable price every month.
Yeah.
You know? I can't remember the last time I turned on my Xbox.
I'm pretty sure if you're a parent, not even of a young kid, we'll just say
of a
teenager. No, well, not even know, because a young kid's not going to know the difference. We'll say more of a teenager, so a child whose mind is cognate, who can actually think and for themselves and stuff.
Problem solving and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a parent, you're going to be like, okay, especially if they have an Xbox. Granted, they may be still playing Fortnite for all they care. But anyway, if I was a parent, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get this because it's gonna save money. And look, all these games are gonna come out. You can have them right then and there. I would have killed for this back in the days when I had to go at 11 o'clock in the middle of the night to go GameStop and pick up, my copy of, Call of Duty 375, with extra zombies spliced down the middle and the side of fucking peppers on a sandwich or whatever. Or when I went and picked up World of Warcraft, I forget which one it was, Cataclysm, and it was freezing cold outside. I would have wished they had something like this back in the day, but now they have it now, so take advantage of it now. It's a great thing that Microsoft is doing. It's a smart thing because it's like, I don't even, like, you can buy the console and you don't even need to buy a game, because if you get the Game Pass, you'll have access to all these games, and there's tons of different varieties, so it's going to satisfy most everybody except for sports players, whatever. But like, it's a win. Like, I don't understand why people.
You might even say it's a smart delivery.
Yeah, because you get all those games upgraded if you get a Series 1X for free.
So I can 100% say with accuracy, if I had told my parents, look, we pay $15 a month and I get all of these games for free. You don't ever have to buy me a $60 game because it will be available to me on launch day right here. I don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to drag me to the game store. You don't have to give me $60 of your hard-earned money. Just give me $15 every month and we're good. I guarantee you they would have been on that. My dad would have been, that is good. Stocks.
Stocks.
Pretty sure your daddy would have went through that library and saw that devil game. Like, no, I'm not giving you this.
Game Pass is the devil's work.
This This is not Bible Simulator like you said it was.
He caught my brother playing Devil May Cry once and just about had a coronary right there.
Oh my god, really? But you're killing demons, though.
To be fair, it was in the brothel.
Most of my
at the
parents ever
point.
got mad at me was playing Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
That was back in the day. And then I have friends and like, okay, well, I won't play it, but I go to my friend's house and play it, so I'm like, it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah. But yeah,
Oh,
no,
I could imagine you that.
from a parent standpoint, you know, if,
Come on, Crash Kapowski, boy! What do you do? Stop playing that Devil May Cry! The devil's gonna cry tonight, but only when I whoop your ass!
oh my
I got
God.
a Bible and I got a belt. Let's go.
And I'm not using them in those orders.
That's pretty accurate, actually. But God. No, just like it just I mean, I'm just scrolling through the showcase hashtag on Twitter, and it's amazing how many people are like, this isn't what I wanted. I'm leaving for PS5. And I'm like,
All right, like, bye. Okay, because what do you want?
that's
You need
fine.
AAA, like super titles. Like, come on, like, calm yourself.
Oh,
like,
okay. Triple A's is not cracked up of what it used to be. Okay, let's just
No,
be
they're not.
fair, so.
They're not. That's like it's like the same with movies. You have certain AAA movies, then you have some independent movies. But some of those independent movies would actually end up being better than the ones that were made major releases, because they know that they weren't going to get that type of major release, so they have they can put more craft and hone it better and make the story better and cinematography
Creative
and do all that.
freedom.
Yeah,
Creative
exactly.
freedom.
Like with the games, it's like it might not appeal to you. Like there were some games that didn't appeal to myself nor Joe, but it appeals to somebody. Somebody likes those type of games, and they're gonna be like, they're gonna be like, oh, this is great and stuff like that. Like for example, don't forget the name of it. The one that we thought was like Life is Strange Part 3, whatever that game was called. I forgot the name of it, Joe. That we didn't say.
Oh my god, I know what it is.
It's not important because we're not gonna play it, so it's not my type of game. But it might be, let's say, Ross's type of game. Whatever. He'll enjoy it better than I do. Like he's looking forward to that medium game. I'm just like, whatever. Just for me, it looks better.
I am interested in that though, because I do
much
like
look at that.
Yeah,
today.
Like I said, if that's personally me, I just don't like those type of games. To me, I find them boring.
Yeah.
And I mean, the closest thing for a horror game for me, because I love it, is Resident Evil. That's about it.
Yeah.
Like I don't care for other ones, different things like that. But you guys are excited for it.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm excited for it. I mean, it might be something I look at.
I'm not saying you have like a small chub for it, but you're like, oh, this is going to look interesting.
Yes, it does look interesting, and and Joe, maybe you thought this too, but I feel like this trailer was a totally different vibe than what we got at the announcement trailer.
Oh yeah, it was. It's like showing more of its inspiration from the Silent Hill series, I would say, in that regard, which it's like going in between worlds here and there, and you're like fighting some demonic presence, I guess.
That was the feeling.
Looks cool.
They said that was
pretty cool.
I was actually reading something about that a little bit afterwards. It was like the worlds are blended simultaneously and stuff like that. So that part was pretty cool. They were talking about that from a technical standpoint, but
yeah, it's interesting, and I'm all for it if it's proven to be a success and like interesting enough. I would give it a shot. I
think it'll be a really good story-driven narrative.
Yeah.
It's I'm trying to figure out if there's any kind of combat related to it.
No, I don't. Because didn't you look into it afterwards? And it was like something about mental health or something like that.
Yeah, there was like some sort of psychological aspect.
It's just something like that.
Because Because that's
So-
what mediums are. It's like a blend of like in real world they're connected to, you know, the physical world and like spiritual world too at the same time. And all that sort of thing. And that's what this character is.
Jessica Love Hewitt. No, you guys don't. Oh no, okay. I forget what it was called, but
Sorry.
It was a show. It was a show. I don't know if it was called The Medium, but it was a show with Jessica Love Hewitt, and it was a funny Family Guy thing because it was like the whole thing was people died, but they didn't get to like say goodbye to their loved ones or something, and they were like, she was like the middle person, different things like that.
Yeah.
And the whole thing from Family Guy was why do ghosts keep coming to me, because she had all that. It was just like, oh my god.
Yeah. Okay.
But I forget what the show was called. I think it was called The Medium, something like that. It was on before you guys thought of watching TV. 2000.
This guy.
You couldn't watch TV unless your daddy approved it. And I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have approved that show.
I didn't have TV for most. I didn't have TV for most of my life. Actually, cable. Forget about it.
Ooh.
10 years.
I at least had rabbit ears. The living room had cable.
7 years in. I lived in Tennessee for 7 years, and we maybe had cable for 3 of them. And then I lived in New York for 10 years, and we did not have cable at all there.
Oh, poor child.
So for most of, literally over half my life, I did not have cable. And even now,
you watch TV shows from when like I was a kid. You're like, "Ooh, that's new to me," and literally is new to you.
Like Frasier.
Yeah,
I didn't watch Frasier. Frasier, I was too young for that. I didn't understand. I was young.
I like that. I enjoy that show. I'm looking. Okay, so here's the real question. Did we really need another Phantasy Star Online game?
Isn't that just like a port?
It's
only?
I actually thought it was a mobile game.
No, the one now on Xbox One looks like a mobile game. Like I was telling Joe.
Yeah.
Like this one actually looks better. Like I tried to play the one on Xbox and it was just like, yeah. Got through the tutorial. I'm like, yeah, no. This. And I told them I have an issue with console MMOs. They just feel forced.
Excuse me. Yeah, that's probably why we never had a lot of fun with like Elder Scrolls Online when we played it on console.
Like I try to play Final Fantasy 14 and it's just like, I mean, yeah, you have now mouse and keyboard integrations for the console on PS4, but it's just like when it came out, I was using the controller. I was just like I can't get
awkward.
into it. I couldn't get, even when I played on PC, I still couldn't get into it. Yep, WoW has my soul.
Okay, so
that's gonna be a hard pass in that Phantasy Star.
Yeah,
I would have preferred a Sonic game, but Phantasy Star.
That's honestly what I thought, honestly. And what was really weird is as I was listening to the music, I got a very Smash Brothers vibe from it, so I was really confused.
Well, that's how Phantasy Star has always been, though.
All right, let's talk about Obsidian Games. Since releasing Outer Worlds late last year, November?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Since releasing Outer Worlds late last year, they have now announced 2 DLCs coming to, or excuse me, 2 expansions coming to the Outer Worlds game, right?
Yeah.
One of which we saw today. They've now released the next game, Grounded, that comes out on the 28th.
Yep, 5 days from now.
Yep. Which is basically, what was that movie? Arthur and the Invisibles. You guys remember that movie?
No, it's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, that's what I thought that was too.
Okay, same.
That's the
same basis, but I see what's just going. So, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, I guess, might be a better vibe than this. But basically, yeah, you're a bunch of shrunk kids exploring your backyard, I guess. Outside of that, I don't know a lot about it. I know I have a Game Informer issue on it. and I just didn't read it.
You're gonna be crafting buildings and smashing bugs, basically.
Okay.
I imagine that there is more, but that's pretty much my premise on that.
Yeah, quit yawning. Let's talk about Avowed, which we knew Grounded was coming for a while.
Yeah.
For several months I've known about it. But Avowed was a new title that Obsidian has announced. Now, just to make sure I'm not 100% crazy, up until Outer Worlds, Obsidian was kind of a under the radar development team. Like if you ask people about, hey, what games do you know by Obsidian? Probably the most popular response would have been Fallout New Vegas.
In that regard, yes, they're pretty underground in the
because they've done that,
but it's like
since then.
But they've done more games like since then, but that was like mostly like on PC and stuff, and it was just like, it was like. I don't even remember.
Small titles. They weren't huge deals.
It was like small RPGs.
They weren't AAAs by any means.
No, they were like indie.
Nope.
Basically.
So they then put out this Outer Worlds game, which puts them back on the map, and now they've pumped out 2 more games since now.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of scrolling through Twitter here. I've got a guy that said Obsidian said, "Fuck it, we're making our own Elder Scrolls."
I was about to say that there is a comparison to that.
Credit to
Lord of the Rings vibe, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I didn't really see the whole video, so I've got to go through it again. But
it's an arrow that fires through the air.
Oh my god! What the fuck was that?
Do the skeleton with armor, which I still never understand that trope, but whatever. And then lands in the cave, and it kind of seemed Dark Scroll-esque.
Arrow flew 10 miles.
And then I swore it gave me the Lord of the Rings vibe when the Balrog was about to come through and fight Gandalf. That's what I felt at that point. It was like, and then it was like Avowed. Okay, whatever. We'll see what it's about.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's definitely. I'm looking at like the screenshot right now, and it's got like Elvish writing on the sword, and he's drawing a symbol in the air.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think it's more kind of a Middle Earth vibe rather than an Elder Scrolls vibe, but that's what they're going after here. Outer Worlds was Obsidian's Fallout, and now Avowed is going to be Obsidian's Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, that's accurate.
I am excited to watch Avowed and see where it goes and find out more about the game.
Yeah, so am I. It's interesting.
There was so much good stuff in this showcase. I don't understand why it's catching so much heat.
I don't understand either. They're focused on games this time around for this console generation. It's like, what more do people want?
People just can't be satisfied, to be honest. I don't know.
A lot of these graphics, too, people have got to realize that they're like, this is in 4K, but your device probably is not 4K. If you're watching it on your phone, you're not getting it in 4K. Guarantee it. So you're not going to get the full experience. You're also probably not watching it in 60 FPS. I mean...
Yeah.
So I don't know what these people want, but
they want to keep on bitching and complaining.
I don't know.
Like anybody else on Twitter. Yeah.
I mean, people have their
Let
right.
that settle in. Shots fired.
People can be disappointed. That's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like it deserves a little bit more credit.
I found the post, but I can't find that person's comment. That's dumb shit. But I don't know.
Can you like paraphrase it?
It's just like, why do they show everything and not show the console price?
Oh yeah, that again.
I'm just trying to see if I find it. But it's like, oh, and then I'm looking at this dumb comments, and people are like, it's not a PS4, it's not this. Like, shut the fuck up already. Like, god damn it.
Yeah,
Like, why the hell are you even watching the freaking presentation?
They're all slobbing on fucking Sony's knobs, and Sony literally did the same thing. They didn't have anything release date. They just said coming soon or coming. I don't even think Spider-Man it's 2021, isn't it? Or something like that. Like next year. Most of them are next
Miles
year.
Morales, yeah. It's
Most of them are either going to be in the first quarter next year or the third quarter, because nothing really comes out during the summertime ish. I mean, some stuff does, like maybe 1 or 2 hits, but people just need to shut up and stop complaining. Like, really, like. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
At least I'm being polite about it.
That could be the title. Shut up and stop complaining.
Yeah, it's. I don't know, man. There's a lot of good stuff here, and
there's a lot of good things. And then there's some things people haven't seen, like for example, the one game Joe and I'm like, Chernobyl. Why does this seem familiar? Like, to me, it seemed familiar.
Stalker.
Joe didn't know what it was, and then when they said Stalker, I'm like, oh my god, it's one of my favorite games on PC from 2007 that they finally got a sequel to, and I'm just like, oh.
It's got a 10 on Steam.
What happened?
The first Stalker game. Sorry.
Yes, it was a great game. Like I said, it released back at the time. I didn't have a computer to really play it. It was in 2007, but like watching the videos and stuff for it, I was like, damn, like it was like I fell in love with it. So like now they're finally releasing a second one. I'm just like, oh, this is awesome. Because at first I thought it was Metro, but I'm like, no, it's too modern to be Metro, but it is Chernobyl. I don't know, I have a weird fascination.
We just had a new Metro game last year.
Hey, they still couldn't make another one, but you gotta remember Metro was based off. But like I said, I have a weird fascination with Chernobyl. But I'm like,
it's a pretty scary place.
Oh yeah,
incredibly fascinating.
You got to watch the miniseries. I got to finish watching, but like only because I was alive when it happened. Yeah, I was young, but I still knew of it. Because I studied it in school and stuff, and it was just like it always fascinated me, and it still fascinates me to today. How active it still is, even though it's been over 30 years since the meltdown and stuff. And like, there's actually a documentary on Netflix, how they're containing it. It's really good. I forget what the name is, but it's really good. I suggest you guys give it a watch. I like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited for Stalker too. Like, the first game was pretty damn scary and intense. So
I mean, this one looks pretty scary as well.
Yeah,
I mean, we only saw in 38 of it.
The main character you play as, I don't know his name, but yeah.
So Jack Black's in Psychonauts 2.
Okay, I was really critical of Psychonauts when it was announced earlier this year or late last year. But after watching that gameplay, I actually really want to play it.
You never played the first one?
No, I didn't. I never played it.
It was on Xbox.
I never did either.
It was on Xbox. I think it might be on the backwards compatible thing. All right, well, I'm old, so I gotta go to bed.
Okay.
But keep talking.
Like,
I think it is on the
Jose
second
were
time.
like, like me and Jose were like talking about it like during and afterwards, but it's just like that game's freaking trippy. For what we saw in that first level, I guess, or
I want to
whatever that environment was. It looked crazy. It just looked awesome as well. It's just it looks fun, very very fun, and all that. That intrigued me a little bit. with that.
Stupid computer. Come on. There we go. Yeah, it looked. I was watching it and I'm like, you know what? Britt might enjoy this game. Which is not something I say very often. But it was silly. It was cartoonish. I mean, I've got the little trailer that we had going right here, right now on the stream, and I mean, like I said, I didn't play the first one, so I don't know a lot about it. But this just looked entertaining to me. It looked fun and silly.
Yeah,
which is something I think is underappreciated in the gaming community anymore.
Yeah, because like, do you ever like think about like all these like some new AAA games where it just feels like they want to pull off some serious gritty look to it and just like
all this realism.
Even realism, and it's just like we don't really need all of that all the time. We can just have something that's just fun, cartoonish, and all that sort of thing. Whatever is fun to people for sure, but it's just like I think you can go at any other game and just be like whatever suits you, man.
I feel like gaming has always been an escape for people, right?
Yeah.
So at what point did we decide we need games to be super realistic? And I understand from an immersion standpoint, okay, but why does it always have to be so dark and gritty and serious? Why can't we have something Jack Black level silly? I feel like we just don't have enough of that anymore.
Not a lot, no.
If it comes out, there's people are like, oh, this is garbage and blah 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 and things like that. You gotta remember, like when gaming first started out, it was just like platformers and stuff, and your Marios and your Sonics and whatever else. They had games that kind of try to emulate that gritty tone, like Metal Gear and stuff like that.
Metal Gear.
Not Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear. Big difference.
I know, Metal Gear.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying to the audience.
Right.
They had those tones and stuff like that, and then you still had like your adventure games, like, and then you had your Final Fantasies. I mean, so it was always there. It's just, I guess, when you started getting into your like Call of Duties and stuff like that, it started to go that way. As the technology became better, to be able to tell a better story than what was being told at that time and stuff like Call of Duty with Gears of War, things like that. And like I think it really kind of started around there. Say even Halo 2.
Yeah. That's accurate.
All right. Well, we are over our hour. I would say, okay, as a kind of a wrap up, out of 10, how do you rank the showcase today? In terms of how happy are you with the games that are coming out? How was the presentation? Was it what you were expecting? That kind of a thing.
The presentation was what it was. I mean, because of everything that's going on in the world. So, they put together
what they could.
Yeah, same. Sony did the same thing. So I don't want to hear people saying, "Oh, Sony's presentation was better," blah blah blah, and I was swinging on the balls of the S and the. Well, like, no, Sony did the same thing. They might have, not even because they literally did the same thing. Oh, here's this game, or here's
all the Sony stuff was pre-recorded.
Yeah,
exactly. So I think it was for overall probably 8 out of 10. There were some games I didn't care, so it's like whatever.
Yeah, it's like 8 out of 10.
I would say 8 out of
I could
8.
give it a 9 out of 10 just because I got my Master Chief and I'm ready for Halo. So
And you got real gameplay, not some CGI stuff.
exactly.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, I don't think they were gonna drop. See, there was one thing because it's Assassin's Creed. That's a third party, but like this was first party, so obviously they were gonna, since Halo is their bread and butter for the most part, they were gonna show, And real quick, Forza's always looked great, but like it looks even more phenomenal now. And like even if you don't like racing games, I like the Forza series. Like I was telling Joe, because I started off with Gran Turismo. I'm not a car enthusiast by all means. I don't know, I know my basics about. I just personally, to me, I like the way cars look. So if it looks nice to me, I personally like it. And Forza, that was all gameplay footage because I don't know if you guys ever played Forza, but I know I have, and the cars do look like that in Forza. They've gotten better, with each integration, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But this looks amazing. So I can't wait to honestly play Forza. And I like it. It's Forza 8. We all know that, but it's just like now it's Forza. And the cars always looked amazing. The cars always look great. The communities, I know the communities is a really huge community. So like, that's a game I'm definitely looking forward to playing. Just because like I will see how it on my 4K TV at running 60 frames per second. Can't wait for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I would give it a 9. Simply because they didn't beat around the bush. They went right into what we wanted. We wanted to see gameplay announcements, gameplay footage. They got right to it, didn't dick around about it.
Oh my god, ice cream! I'm just kidding.
I would say the fact that 22 of these titles are coming to Xbox exclusively is a win for Microsoft. That's a pretty big deal. Because that's one thing they've always been lacking on is their exclusives. They may not be AAA title exclusives, but they're still exclusive titles.
Naysayers of Sony.
So I give it a 9 simply because they didn't dick around about it. They gave us what we were most of what we were looking for, and they're going to back up their buying of all these smaller studios. So
for sure.
And it was funny. What's the funny thing is, like, even Xbox goes out their way. They're like, "Oh, congrats!" Like they'll say congrats to Sony because they know it's not about a console war anymore. It might have the console war thing.
That should have died with the PS2.
No.
No, you don't think so?
Probably with the 360 and the PS3.
PS4.
Yeah.
I would say that was the last because PS4 came out. It was in the beginning of the PS4 and the Xbox One, but then once crossplay and stuff started really becoming a thing and different things like that, it was like it's just, to me, it's dead.
There's no reason. Gaming is gaming, guys.
Trying to keep it alive for whatever reason, because I didn't see, did we see gameplay footage of Spider-Man? No.
It was like a 45-second clip, I think.
Yeah, and it's just an announcement, but people are like, "Oh my god, it's Spider-Man!" Like, calm down. Like, we saw Halo Infinite gameplay. I'm more excited for that because we actually saw, gameplay, and that game is actually coming out this year when their console launches.
Exactly.
So it's like, shut up, just shut up already. Enjoy what you play. I play a Switch. I play PC. When I have an Xbox and PS4 again or whatever, I'll play those too. Yes, PS4 might have some good exclusives, but Xbox has their things too. In my opinion, Xbox multiplayer is 10 times better than PS4 multiplayer. Xbox Live is 10 times better than whatever the fuck Xbox, whatever the hell they have. Because I don't even know what PS4 has. PS4 might as well have Xbox Live on it because Xbox Live to me has always been the superior online game. It's a
community.
honestly, if you want to compare anything, yeah, Sony's better for single player. Xbox is better for multiplayer, in my opinion, with the exception of like the Madden community that they whatever.
They don't count.
They
They're
don't.
in their own thing. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, anything else you guys want to say to wrap up? You got anything else?
Don't forget to watch the new episode of the Doof and the Cheese Show tomorrow night
Oh my
on the
fucking-
Arcade Chat. Until then, has anybody seen Perry? I swear I saw him around here. I don't know where he went.
So Joe, you're streaming tonight after this, right? You have got the new demo for Kill It With Fire, correct?
Yes, Heat Wave.
So Heat Wave, the next section of the Kill It With Fire demo.
It sounds
So-
like the Spider Strikes Back.
Yeah. So tune in
Yeah.
tonight to watch Joe take on the spiders again and get jump scared. And then tomorrow night, Friday night, we're back at it with VR chat. Jose, Brittany, and maybe Joe.
Maybe me.
Maybe.
Because I have to work 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh,
that.
bitch. Gosh, 9 a.m. I realized it was a 9 a.m. start time.
She'll probably play it for 6 hours again, like she did last week. So we'll see. So yeah, be sure to tune in tomorrow night on the Twitch channel to catch that stream. VR chat's always fun here. And then Saturday we're doing something. We've got Patrick's not doing Warzone, so we got to fill in for him. Not in the morning, but we got to figure out what we're gonna do.
It should be you, because you missed last week because you wanted to go camping, and look what happened when you went camping.
I
You
did.
got sunburned. You still look burning.
I am still red. Yes, my nose is peeling.
See? That's the time.
There's a lot of things we could do. We could do Smite. We could do State of Decay. We could do.
I'm disappointed at you. You guys were all excited for this whole Avatar thing for Smite, and y'all have yet to play it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
They get
that's
fucking-
pretty bad of us to be hyped for that.
Dude,
and
you guys
doing
like,
no shit.
Avatar, now it's out. You're like,
Yeah, I've got 2 games I need to do coverage for: Atlas and another indie developer game. Anyway, so tune in this weekend. You'll catch us all live. We'll do something fun. Until next time, guys, we'll catch you later. And next week, we'll see you for the next podcast. Bye, guys.
Hi, everybody. Where's
Bye.
Barry? I swear I can't find.